So as you can see this morning, I've scattered a few phones around the table and that kind of thing, and you bring up a good point in your intro. You said something about internet takes up a lot of the business. And you're right, business is handled on the internet every day. When it comes to that entity of business where you need clear definition, you need an absolute comfort level that what you're getting is actually going to be something that's going to be beneficial to you, you usually want to talk to somebody. You really want to ask that question. What's going on? Does this really work for me? And you can interrogate a person, but you have a hard time interrogating a web page. It just gives you only the answers that it gives you. It gives you no opportunity to question it. So with that, which I isn't even going to start there, but it's a great place to lead into because that's all the prep that I've done. No. Okay, so actually I brought a few things with a few ideas in mind. One of the things that's going on a lot of promotion is get the system that's hosted. Get the system that's in the cloud. Okay? And so what you see is a black box over there that without the blinking lights is a PBX. A PBX then goes up into the cloud. And so now here it is in the cloud. We usually call this cloud cumulogranite. Okay? Because it's the only thing you can affix anything to. Yeah, you know. Okay, so now this guy's sitting up in the cloud, and the lifeline between the phones and the PBX is internet dependent, which means that if you want to make a phone call from here to here or to here internally, and your internet goes down, you're down, you're done. Okay, you've lost it all. There's nothing there. Okay. This is not connected to the internet at this point. It's only connected to a router just to give these some addresses so they can talk to one another on a network. But I can call from one extension to the next extension to the next extension, just like you always do in any business solution. Okay? So one of the negative sides, and I brought this as a shining example because it actually is a very, very good hosted phone. It will also work on here. Because where it comes weak, okay, is if you have a company that says, let's say I have 6 outside lines, or 8 outside lines, or 10 outside lines. On this product, you can't see which line is in use. You just push a button, you dial a number, and it goes out there. And if you want to transfer that call to somebody else, you have to transfer it, or you have to park it. It's a form of hold, okay? Most people really don't like that, unless, of course, maybe they're 19 and then they don't know any better. You know? So most people like the idea of if you put the call on hold, you can see it everywhere in the business. Now, a lot of times, in a very small environment, it doesn't matter. If you've only got 3 or 4 people in the place, you know, and we're this far and this far and this far apart, it doesn't matter. I'm going to send you a call. You're done. But when you've got 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 people in the business, now you're in a whole different spectrum. And so when you start your business, you're saying, well, where am I going to grow my business to? Nobody starts a business to say, I'm going to grow it to 4 and quit. Not mostly. Mostly people are inspired. If they're doing a good job, they want to continue to grow it, and rightfully so. Why? Because if you're doing a good job, you're making money, you've got the opportunity to do that. Okay? So, looking at something that gives you some forward capabilities is a better long-term investment to use something with a system than something hosted. Here's another component of that. Okay, let's talk about the accounting part of it. Okay, if you use this service, you buy this phone and you hook it up to the cloud. Okay, and you get the pitch. All the dial tone you want. Just call anywhere. Call all you want. Well, the guy that sells that knows that you're not going to put 50,000 minutes on this phone. You have something else to do. You have to eat. You have to sleep. A few things. Okay. So that pitch goes great. But what happens is you're renting this service now for $20 a month. $20 a month. Okay. How much is that at the end of the year, Emily? It's a test. $960. Good, you got it right. Good job. Okay. So almost $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $4,000 into the year. If that same $4,000 in this package, at the end of 1 year, you own it. What do you pay the second year? $4,000. Kind of almost don't want to do that, do you? Nothing. Okay. There is some recurring costs with some dial tone, but it's not $4,000. Okay. So again, that goes into yet another aspect, and I don't want to get too spread out on that. Okay. Some of the things that the phones do. Okay. This one's a digital set. The reason I would use a digital set in an environment is because oftentimes I'll walk into a place, I look around, the building's 20 years old. It was wired, or in some instances, it was wired because some electrician wired it that way, as a digital infrastructure. They didn't realize, oh wait, maybe we'll use network phones here. No consideration to that. Okay, happened. So bring the simple phone in. It works. You have most of the capabilities that you do with a network phone. It still talks well. You're good. This guy, that's a SIP phone. SIP phone is basically considered to be a single line set. Okay. But you also probably notice it's got an awfully big screen on it. It connects to the internet. You can browse with that screen. Okay. It's color touchscreen. Yeah, you got it. I did a home with 15 of these in it.
Wow.
Wow.
It's $600 a pop. Okay. Pacific Palisades.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly right. What I want is what I want. Okay, this is what I want. I want my cameras outside to be able to see on the phone, so I know what I lose outside, what's going on. Good visibility, good security. Okay, you can do screen pops if the doorbell rings, things like that. Okay, that's what most big houses do with a telephone system, is answer that front door, find somebody in the building. Those are the two primary reasons. Okay. The other, it has some speed dial capabilities, and I'm not going to get too excited about that because most people have some idea what that's all about. Okay. So hopefully in this, oh, one more thing. Playing golf with a guy the other day and he's hitting the ball really far. I'm thinking, what are you hitting? Oh, all the new technology makes it go really, really far. So I go by Roger Dunn the other day, and I notice everybody's walking around with an older version of this on their hip. What does that do for them? That means they can find anybody on the floor. Hey, I'm looking for a particular, just a minute, I'll call the right guy for that. Hey, George, bring a 4 over and 3 up, and 2, bring it over here. Instantly, the company now is in contact everywhere. Everybody can talk to everybody, okay? Another big thing about that is, rings a couple of times at the primary answering point, nobody answers. Now all of a sudden it's ringing on everybody's phone. So anybody can answer your incoming call. Well, what's that do for customer satisfaction? Why? Because somebody answered the phone. We know that that's very important. Ask Mark, he'll tell you. Okay? And so to be able to actually talk to somebody, to get some guidance when you're calling into your business, to a business, very, very important. And it's so much more personal than, you reach me and I'm going to give you the 49 members of our company and so on. So much better customer service. That's probably the majority of what I think I'll talk about today. So let me open it up to questions. Terry.
Electronic phone systems go dark if you have a power outage. What's the workaround for that?
Battery backup. Easy. How many hours would you like it to work?
At least 6.
At least 6. All you're doing, literally, all you're doing is buying batteries.
If it's a planned outage for
Buying batteries, yeah, exactly. Interesting. Many years ago, I had a Panasonic system, the Mitel system in Samsung's company in Irvine, and they had scheduled brownouts. So he says, I need at least an hour on the phone side. I need at least an hour on the data side. That's like about $11,000 or something like that. But you know, the right size company, it's not a problem. You ask for it, you pay for it, you get it. That simple. So that's another important part of that, by the way, is if you use the right type of battery backup, you then basically put some protection between your PBX and that outside line, that AC line. I've seen instances where power surges because of the power outage, and what happens isn't that it goes down, is when it comes back up, it hits with a force. And when it does that,